Hello friends, J. Todd coming to you from in front of the fabulous Flamingo, and here's what's happening this week in gambling. Hello friends, I'm back in my home studio and ready to bring you this week's gambling news, starting with sports betting operator William Hill, who have run into a few problems lately. A lot of problems, actually, and it's all in the state of Nevada. And that is this week's big story. First, the good news, as betting on the Super Bowl this year set all kinds of new records. Americans across the country placed over 100 million bets on the big game. That's 25% more than last year. States across the country set all sorts of new revenue highs, but not Nevada. You see, on the biggest sports betting day of the year, just moments before kickoff, the William Hill app in Nevada crashed, and it crashed hard. There was no mobile betting available, no online betting. Hell, people couldn't even place bets on those little kiosks they have at the casinos. Talk about your bad timing. This is significant because if it can happen in Nevada, it could happen anywhere in the country. Making matters worse, some players who had made their bets before the crash occurred went into casinos after the game was over to collect their winnings and were told they weren't going to be paid. However, I'm absolutely sure that's not true and was probably said in a moment of confusion. After all, William Hill is one of the largest sports books in the world, and they're owned by Caesars Entertainment, who's governed by the laws of the state of Nevada, so I can't imagine that they would not honor their bets. Additionally, the State Gaming Control Board is now investigating this matter, even though at the time I was filming this, there had been no explanation provided for the crash. However, the app is back up and running now, even though there's no way to go back in time and recover any of that action. Now, no one knows for sure how much this little mishap cost William Hill, or Caesars, or the state, but Super Bowl betting in Nevada last year was nearly $180 million. This year, it barely reached $150 million. So, what's more is that William Hill is now pouring thousands of dollars into their players' accounts and what they're calling free sports bets to make up for the outage and say how sorry they are. So, in addition to losing all that action on the Super Bowl, they're giving away a lot of money. And in the midst of all this, as if it were not enough, the Nevada Gaming Control Board just busted William Hill employees in an embezzlement scheme. And we'll have more on that right after the break.
This week's special promotion is for WickedBet. Casino City has an exclusive offer for WickedBet and thousands of other sites. Visit online.casinocity.com for details, or follow the link in the description below this video.
This week, we have an exciting new game review to share with you for the Cashman Kingdom slot machine, part of the Mr. Cashman link from Aristocrat. This update to the player favorite comes with new game characters, a hold and spin bonus, and a free games feature. You can find this slot machine review along with hundreds more when you visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And finally this week, the hits, they just keep on coming for William Hill, as the Nevada Gaming Control Board recently broke up an embezzlement scheme being run by a couple of their employees. Well, former employees, what with them being arrested and all. Details about how they pulled off this little scam of theirs were not provided because, why teach others how to do it? However, according to court documents, they got away with about $100,000, which ironically should just about cover their bail money.
The price is wrong, bitch.